I actually feel comfortable. This might actually be fun. Okay, hello, back for episode 3. Third try. Can you believe it? So I want to do this quick because it took me again 15 minutes yesterday. So let me see if I can do this quicker. So, restash. I did a restash 4 days ago and I taped it and it was gone. And so my boxes are already restashed. I can sadly not show you the process of it, but I will tell you about the process and what epiphanies I had while doing it. Anyway, so let's go and let's start this. So the way I used to have my yarn stashed was by company and by color. So for example, I still have, you won't be able to see it, but I'm just gonna show you. I still have 2 boxes in my shelf, which are all Red Heart Yarn Soft. One box is the blue box with 4 different shades of blue, and the other one is the neutral box with beige, grey, black and white, which I just have so I have something to work with, to have some accent, or the other way around, to have a neutral color, usually beige, to then add a popping accent color to that. So they're full to the brim, and so they're just still in the shelf, and I didn't do anything with them because they're fine like they are. But anything else kind of got messed up in the recent years because I just accumulated so much more and stuff that didn't belong together in that sense. So I did a restash actually about 6 months ago where I changed up the system and I labeled some of these boxes like yarn I know the pattern I want to use them for but haven't bought it yet, which has become this box. So this box is still said box. I know what to make of it. I just don't know. I didn't buy the pattern yet. And just to explain a little bit more, unless there's a sale, I don't like to buy patterns anymore. I have pattern corpses on my phone that are years old. I bought them and I never knit them, and now I know I will never knit them. And that is just so sad because, and it's there's different reasons why I don't knit them. One of them, the construction is too complicated, and the other one, I just don't like the style anymore. So, because I'm also a budget knitter, I've just, like, I need to be more responsible and just get the stuff when I actually am going to use it. Because it's just such a waste. It's such a waste. So I'm just gonna, you can hold me accountable like this. So what I'm planning to do with this is a Red Hot Super Saver Fruit Punch. And this is a worsted weight yarn. And it's a 100% acrylic. And this also has this kind of towel-like feel, which is why I was so mad at that hand-dyed yarn I showed you. Because this basically feels the same. There's not much difference. But this is like just a fraction of the price. And look how pretty! Camera shows a little more red and orange, but this is actually rather pinkish. And this is actually supposed to be a pooling yarn. This was supposed to be for planned pooling with crochet, but the color sequences are kind of irregular. And so you might get it to pool, but my patience is running low. So I didn't get it to pool, and so I decided I wanted to make a Waldkind by Ducati out of this. I love the Waldkind shawl. I'm going to link it and put a picture up here again, because it's actually a children's shawl, but I think it's just so cute, and it's so like, it's got this clean look, and it's probably super easy and like a really fun knit because you're knitting flat and it's garter stitch, so you're just knitting every row. And that's just fun. That's fun. So the other thing in here is another plant pooling yarn. This is Wildflower. This should also pool, and with this I want to combine it with this very cheap discount yarn from a German discount store. This is actually a really good yarn. I hate the color. I had a turquoise phase at some point. I still like petrol, but I've had a turquoise phase when I started knitting, and like 2 years ago I noticed that I don't like turquoise. But I have so much of this yarn, and I wanted to combine it with this. So I want to make a planned pooling crochet rectangle. And make like a very daring fusion. I like to call those things knit fusions. I would like to knit the Cardigan by Baron Handmade, which calls for a super bulky yarn, which I never have and never will have. But with calculations, I know I can adjust it and it should work. And I've been thinking about making this rectangle, this plant pooling rectangle, put that into the middle of the back and connect it to the rest of the pattern with this yarn. So knitting with this yarn and then, I don't know, probably connecting it with the plant pooling rectangle via free needle bind off. I don't know the construction entirely since I don't have the pattern yet. If I get the pattern, I might see, oh, that's not going to work. If it's not going to work, I would just add this yarn in. I would just knit with this yarn. I would just combine it in some way. Maybe I would do the sleeves with this yarn, because otherwise I don't think I have enough yardage, because this is not a super bulky yarn. This is just a bulky yarn. So with this, I will have enough yardage. And if need be, I'll hold a double. This is like, I think this might be 300 meters. The Super Saver is has quite a lot of yardage. So that's what's supposed to happen with this at some point or another. Let's get that out of the way. So what are we gonna, we'll just go ahead with this one. This used to be the box self-design. So in here, there's stuff that I wanted to make my own design garments, but I'm kind of over that at the moment because it takes up too much brain space. I'm just not at a point right now where I can do that. And so I've just changed it. This is just the box with the huge yardage because there's lots of stuff. There's this huge velvet yarn skein in here. I love this so much. It's petrol. This is not turquoise. This is petrol. And I love it so much. And I think I don't have enough of it. I should have bought a second skein. I was too cheap, even though this is really not expensive because this is from another discount store. And there's these beautiful ones. I have got 6 of these. I got 6 of these for $20 at Bon Creative. This was a steal. I'm gonna make the Nonna's Liaison out of this. I have that pattern. I've had it for ages. So you could say, well, why don't you make this the box with the patterns you have? And it's like, no, I have another box for that, and it's full. I'm going to show you later. And it's actually the second box because I've been thinking about, I actually wanted to combine the fur yarn with the velvet yarn and make mittens, you know, like the cuffs with the fur yarn and the mitten itself with the velvet. But I don't wear mittens. I love sets, but I don't wear the mittens. And you know, when you realize that, maybe you shouldn't do that. You should just make something that you actually use and wear. So I've been kind of thinking about different things. I've been thinking about making a shrug, you know, like those wrap shrugs that Knititude and Tanja Steinbach designed and Wolle Rödel designed years ago. And some Etsy designer designed really years ago, but just sold the finished item. And so I've been thinking about maybe making that because you could do the cuff again with the fur and the rest of the shawl or of the wrap with the velvet. That could be really cool because velvet is kind of difficult in when it comes to stitch definition, but you know, with stockinette, you're perfectly fine with when you're knitting stockinette. And yeah, I think I may be onto something here. So something else that's in here, I only have the one package still in plastic and I hate that. This is a huge, I have 3 of these. Huge 200-gram bowl of purple yarn by Woolworth. Again, just full acrylic and really affordable. And I haven't knitted up yet, so I didn't do a gauge swatch yet, but it's supposed to become that self-design that I told you about last time from my Hogwarts Mystery Avatar. This time I'm going to put a picture in here so you have an idea what I'm talking about, what I want to try to make out of it. So that's that. I'm sorry if I'm talking too quickly, but I talk so much that I have to, so we'll maybe be done in half an hour because we're already 10 minutes in. I'm also trying to make this, you know, like minimal editing. Not because I actually like, you know, the editing effects you can put in, but I'm just not good at it and it takes so long. It takes longer than taping the video. So this is my Red Heart yarn red box because there's lots of reds in there, and because I don't have that many reds anymore. And there's also my purples and my lavenders in here, and a wild mirage one because I have no other place for it. This is also a Red Heart yarn, and this was supposed to be pooling, and it pools in a certain way, but because the color sequences are so small, it's definitely not usable for Argyle, for plant pooling and Argyle look. I really like the color though, but because of this towel-like feel, and it's a worsted weight yarn, I have no idea what to make of it. Seriously, no bloody idea. I've been thinking about also knitting a Waldkind with this. But yeah. And I already started the leaf because I know how to do leaf. I just don't know the rest of the pattern. And I don't, as you can see, it's not there anymore, it's gone. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of difficult to make, and it's kind of strange because, you know, the crochet, when you crochet this for plant pooling, it gets really stiff and hard. But I've also knitted with this, and then it's really cool and really soft, and drape is actually kind of nice, especially when you knit stockinette. So, yeah, I still don't know what to do with this. And I think I also tried to make it the smear tee with, but that's a ribbing pattern, and rib does not go with this. That don't look good. That really don't look good. So there's like my real favorite ones, even though there's also worsted weight, and I'm so over worsted weight because it's so fucking heavy and you cannot make good garments out of it. Not really anyway. My favorite, that's an industrial dyed yarn, but look how pretty. Look how pretty. And this too. I use this for the accent color for my cardigan, for my self-designed cardigan, my shawl color cardigan. And I have so much left because I had to reorder, and Amazon only had a 4-pack. I was grateful that they had anything, even though I hate Amazon. But they only had a 4-pack, so I have lots left. And I don't know what to do with it again. I'm like, I would love to use this in singularity, so just this. But yeah, I could do, I don't think I have enough yardage for this smear tee, which is kind of sad because that calls for like 450 yards. Yeah, I don't have that. This is like maybe 250. So it wouldn't be enough for that. And I have no idea what to make of it. It's so pretty. It's like, on one hand, I want to keep it for like accent colors. So, but I'm so bad at combining colors. I'm so bad at that. This is why people who make, whether it's Stephen West or others, when they combine different colors, I'm always in awe because I'm just so bad at that. And I'm just, when I look at it, I'm like, oh, that's amazing. That's great. That works really well. And then I look at my stash, which is obviously not as diverse when it comes to color. But it's like, yeah, nothing really goes together here, in my opinion. So someone else might come in and be like, oh, that works good together. That and this and that, which would make me go like, I would never have put that together. But that does look really good. And I'm just not good at it. I'm just not good at it. What is going on here? Wait, what is that? Too much hair. Too much hair. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so the general consensus will be at the end of this video, I have no idea what to do with my yarn. I have so much yarn, I have no idea what to do with it. It's like women standing in front of their closet, I have nothing to wear. That has never happened to me. I swear. Never. The correct thing would be to say, I have nothing that I want to wear. Because that's mostly the case. It's like, no, I don't like that anymore. No, I don't fit into that anymore, but I'm not going to tell you. That's more like what's happening. So, next box. This is actually my, I know what to make of it box. I know what I'm going to do with it box. I have the pattern box. So, there's the Gryffindor stuff in here. which will be a Gryffindor scarf loop, whatever. This is the rest of a Super Saver Antique. I love this color combination. This is what I made my yoga bag out of. And I just love it so much. I do have a messy bun beanie in it already. That's why I know that this knitted up is actually really cute and cool. And I've been thinking about, I've been like debating whether I should make that heart headband I showed you last week. I will still have quite a bit left over if I do it. And I think the colors might be, it might be too, yeah, I can't think of the word. But there might be too much going on color-wise for that headband. So I'm probably going to make it, a different headband. You know, like a normal wide headband to cover the ears and protect the ears. What else do I got in here? I got 2 different colored reflective yarns. I've been wanting to make a scarf out of that, a loop, and I did swatch, I think. This is kind of difficult. Stitch definition is terrifying, so I'm having a little bit of trouble with it. But I thought I could maybe do try the field frost. I would have to swatch the brioche part of it and see if that works at all, because with brioche it's kind of difficult sometimes, especially when stitch definition of a yarn is bad, then brioche doesn't work. But I think if it works, I could definitely knit the field frost with this. And it will be out of my way and I will have knit that pretty pattern. This is one of those cheap, not so amazing quality yarns. But look at that variegation, look at that print. It's so pretty. And I did start the Renya shawl with it, and I didn't like the way it looked, because at first glance it looks like my favorite lace pattern, which is just yarn over and knit 2 together, repeat all around, and then knit the next round. And that leads to the fact that those knit 2 togethers stack diagonally on each other. And so at first glance the Renya shawl looks exactly like that. But due to the shawl construction with the increases you have to make, the lace pattern is actually broken up so they don't stack. They alternate every row or every second row. And I don't like that. Because I actually wanted to do it and just gift it to my mother because she likes green so much. And I wanted to make one for myself with the red variegated yarn I have of this, which is in another box. But yeah, that didn't work. And since shawl construction eludes me, I don't know how to fix it. And I'm not good at research. There might be a pattern out there that is exactly the way I want it. Or maybe I've been thinking about maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I'm misreading the pattern when I looked at project pages, but I don't think I am. So yeah. This is another plant pooling yarn. And I've got like 3 skeins of this, and I've been debating what I should do with it. But because it's for pooling, it does pool, and it pools really good. My project bag is out of this. I've just decided I'm just going to make a huge rectangle out of it and make it a poncho. I'm going to make my life easy. Just crochet a plant pooling rectangle and make a poncho. And be rid of that. And be happy with that. So there's lots and lots of different shades. That's my 50 Shades of Red down there, and that pink belongs there too. That's actually for the Accidental Adventure Cow, and the cast on is already also hidden somewhere there, but it's like 2 or 3 rows, because as I said, I'm not having so much fun knitting that. Not because of it's not the pattern, it's me. It's really me. Okay, 3 boxes to go. We can do it. Can we do it? Oh, 10 minutes. Oh, let's see. Okay, we're gonna start with this. So this is the box of the yarns that I'm not crazy about anymore. So there's various stuff in here. There's another Super Saver in here. There's a really cheap but pretty, very thin yarn I got, and my boyfriend got for me when we were on holiday, because he wanted to be nice, because I saw him, I was like, oh, it's pretty, and I'm like, yeah, okay, get it. Like, now I don't know what to make of it, because stitch definition is again terrifying. And I've got 700 meters of this, It's for a 1.75 to 2 millimeter needle. I have no idea what to make of it. No idea. This is the box in general. I have no idea what to make of it. So this is the red yarn I meant that I wanted to make my own menu shawl with. There's like cotton yarn. This is like the oldest cotton yarn ever, because this is basically the yarn I started crocheting with. And I started crochet a year before I learned to knit. I still love it because it's purple, and I like this cotton. It's trying to think of a comparable, but I don't think, because the Schachmeier Katjana is different. This is Gründelwolle, and yeah, I'm still really happy with it. It's just like, sure, you can make a summer top or like a summer dress if you were to do that in a cotton, but I just don't like knitting anything in cotton anymore. I think cotton is for like kitchen towels and stuff. I could do, that brings me to another one. I'll tell you about that later. So I've got these three. They're all the same general colorway, just different colors, obviously, but the general dye is the same. I have so many of these, and they actually knit up nice. This is a Red Heart yarn again. This is the Red Heart Lisa, so they're really inexpensive acrylic yarn, and this is a perfect beginner's yarn because it also knits up rather nicely, but I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I've got so much of it. I thought of combining at least these two, because of this I only have 2 skeins, and of this like 3 or 4. I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea what to do with it. Awful. So this is the same cheap discount yarn, like the turquoise one I showed you. This is in here because it's just one big skein and I don't know what to do with it. But it's actually not a bad yarn. I did 2 sweaters in this and they were really good. You know, the stitches don't look so good because of how the yarn is wound. But stitch definition is good and it's really soft and it's really fun. It's really fun. And it's, even though it's a bulky yarn, or it's labeled as bulky, it's actually not too heavy, which is weird because I have worsted weight stuff that is fucking heavy. But that's actually all right. But one skein, it's like 200 grams. But I have no idea how much yardage because the ball band doesn't say. That's always lovely. What else is in there? Oh, there's another reflective yarn in there, but this time in a really nice Bordeaux. And I've been wanting to make either a headband or a beanie. Or both, because I think I might have enough yardage for both, but I'm not sure. But I'm not interested in doing accessories right now, so I didn't yet. Okay, I'm gonna do this next. This is actually my expensive box. Can you believe it? This used to be my high-end box with the expensive yarns, because this is all Schachenmeier and Alstermann. And they used to be the expensive stuff, because just for reference, the Red Heart Yarn Soft is a 100-gram bowl, and at the German website I ordered, it was $260. And if you know prices for Schachenmeier or Austermann or anything, Schachenmeier generally has yarn for like $6, 50 grams. That's usually obviously merino and stuff like that. And their acrylic is cheaper, but I don't know, I can't hold them up against each other. I don't know if you're going to see it. I don't know if you're going to see it, but this is Schachenmeier and this is Red Heart. And I do think that this looks a little bit cheaper. That is, I think they're almost the same pricing, but this is a better quality in my opinion. Or you could knit a garment with this and it would look fine. I would never knit a garment with the Schachenmeier Bravo. Call me a yarn snob. Go ahead. But I wouldn't do it. I bought this in various colors because I had an amigurumi face and I actually made a Christmas tree out of this. And so I got kind of a general, every color. Why is there so much Katjana in black? I'm confused at myself. That is weird. That's strange. And I've still got so much of this green. It's kind of sad. Crazy. Yeah, so this used to be my high-end box because they were expensive. They were expensive. The Austermann Softie is actually rather expensive. Never hold me accountable for prices, but I think this is either $10 a skein or 8 or 6. But I think it's 8 or 10. And it's like 50 meters or so. It's a chenette yarn. It's a chenette yarn. I love it. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's soft. It lives up to its name. And chenette yarns are always awesome because they're not heavy. They're not heavy. They're super light and they're fun. And this is industrial dyed. I don't know if you can see it, but it has this kind of, it's like semi-solid. That's really cool. That's really cool because this is a solid. This is boring. This is semi-solid. This is not boring. So another miss-buy, wrong buy from Bonn Kreativ. Die Schachenmeier Katjana in purple and lavender, which was supposed to be for the All About That Brioche shawl. Because stupid me did not think about the fact that, especially like a tough and stiff cotton like this will not work with brioche. When you knit brioche with this, basically no matter which needle size, it will look like a lace pattern, and that's not what you want. And so they're in here, and I've seen a shadow knitting pattern on Ravelry that has the same color scheme and would work, and I think I have enough yardage for that. But shadow knitting is exhausting and you need to concentrate, and so yeah, I won't do that anytime soon. Last box, or maybe second to last, but we're good. We're at half an hour now. I think that's fine. So this is my favorite box, obviously. Why? Because this only contains all of my hand-dyed yarns. I've decided to put them just in one box because they've actually been freaking me out most, because I had my surprise bag from Corinna from Oveo Wolle right next to me on my sofa. You know, like, I'm surrounded by all of my garments that are still don't have the ends sewn in, and then that surprise bag, 6 skeins from the surprise bag flying around there. I mean, like, I have no idea what I have in my stash and what I can use for new patterns I see. I'm going crazy. So I've just decided to put them all together. And we're going to start with the one that's most annoying to me, because that will put a dampener on the whole video. I am sorry in advance. Again, from Bonn Kreativ. I don't know what was wrong with me that day. It was just weird. I'm usually much more figured out when I get stuff, but well, not this time. I got these. This is again a chenette yarn, which I love, and I really like the colorway. But I had no idea back then, and I was not thinking about it. I was like, it's gonna be fine. I was not even thinking about it. This is an Angora mix. This is 47% Angora. And I only found out like 2 weeks ago when Jetzt kocht sie auch noch and Rock the Wool were talking about it on their live, that I think 90% of the way Angora is produced is not cruelty free and is really produced in the most disgusting manner. And I'm not a vegetarian, so you can call me a hypocrite, but yeah, this really upset me. I really had no idea. I was just being naive and thinking it'll be all right, it'll be fine. And now I'm like, oh, don't tell me. Oh no, this sucks. And I've actually been thinking about reaching out to the dyer and asking if at all she can confirm that she gets her wool from a cruelty-free produce. But let's face it, that's just me trying to calm my guilty conscience. And so, yeah. So even if she says yes, there's probably no way to really prove it. And if she says no, then what? What then? I feel like it's not, I don't feel like it's not my place, but I also feel it's kind of a lot to just get into someone's email account and be like, look, I've done some research and I found out this yarn is usually not produced in a cruelty-free way. Why are you still selling it? Could you perhaps maybe think about not selling that yarn anymore. And just, like just politely asking for their reasoning. They don't have to explain themselves to me, obviously. It's just like, okay, I now know how this is produced, and I feel really bad actually having this in my house. And I'm really like, how am I supposed to use it now? It really doesn't feel good. And it's like, anytime someone would ask, I would be lying. I could not face it. I would have to lie what this is made out of. And that's just awful. That just sucks. That's just really annoying. But I've been thinking about it, reaching out to her and asking her if she has been maybe thinking about at all if she would take out that specific yarn. Yeah. I think I'll do that. Let me know if you want to follow up to see if what comes back. Because I met them at Bon Creative, obviously. They were great people. They were lovely people. It's just like, I don't know. Okay, on to more happier stuff. Knit Crate. April Knit Crate. I really don't know. I really don't remember anymore. I have no idea what to make of it yet again. And it feels like I don't want to do something just this. I think that's too much. I would really like something like a neutral color to accent it with. Or something, anything really, to work with it. What I really don't know what I'm ever going to make with this is these two undyed skeins from the surprise bag. I just don't know what to do with it. And no, before you ask, neither of these contents are a good fit for the purple I just showed you, because otherwise I would do that. This is really thick because it has 140 meters of yardage, meterage. And this, even though it has silk, it also has rami, whatever that is, which I've never had before. I don't know what that is. And to me, it feels scratchy. It feels scratchy. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. So I really don't know what to do with it. I've been thinking about dyeing it with Simplico, but I think when you dye yarn, you have to have it at a certain temperature for a longer period of time. So I would have to buy a pot. I don't have enough pots to cook. I'm not getting a pot just for yarn dyeing. I'm not. I'm just not. Yeah. More Knit Crate yarn. I've already decided against the Gatsby shawl here, because I looked at the yarn, I'm like, this is so pretty, I want to make a garment out of it. And I have a pattern in my mind. I think it's the Eileen crop or the Eileen top that I would like to make of it, but I wouldn't buy that now. I think that would be really cute, but I would have a lot left, I also think. Other than that, because stitch definition again is not so good, but I think a lace pattern would work really well with this. So I really don't want to make something, I don't want to make an accessory out of it, I want to make a garment out of it. So it really needs to be a top, a shirt, something, anything like that. Okay, what else? These three beauties from Shibot Ghana. This was supposed to be a self-designed sweater, a fade sweater, but like I said, I can't be bothered right now. These three skeins were from the surprise bag, and I've been looking at them like this for a while now, and I think they actually work together really well. I don't know why. I think you could really make something out of this just by themselves, but obviously it would need to be a shawl, and yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Let's just tell her how it is. So what I've been thinking about, what I would really like is make a Jolie sweater by Polka Knits with these two, because it's difficult because of the yardage. I would have to knit the sleeves and the lace part with this, and then pray that this is enough for the whole body. Could be a close call, but could work. And I think they work together really well. This is a little bit difficult because this beige, what you see, is actually kind of a yucky yellow. No offense to Corinna, but it's kind of a yucky yellow. It looks a little bit like pus. Because otherwise it's perfect. If this were just like a real beige or something, this would be awesome. But it's what it is. And I do think with the lace pattern that the Jolie sweater has, that could work really well. And I could extend that lace pattern to the sleeves, make the whole sleeves a lace pattern. Because I think in stockinette it might look kind of yucky again. But yeah, I don't know. I will not be knitting that. Now I have other stuff to knit. I have to still to finish my test knit. I still have to finish the ripple cowl, and I'm onto that now. I'm praying that I'm gonna be done by the 31st, because that might just work. Because I really want to get it done. I just don't want to be part of the cowl. I don't even know if it's going to finish on the 31st, but I'm just assuming it is. Okay, last one is the really happy one. Look, oh my god, look. Oh my god, look at that. So these three beauties is a fade that Corinna had laid out at Bon Creative, and I was like, would you please pack them in the bag so they're mine and nobody steals them. And this really pretty one here, that was in the surprise bag, and they have the same fiber content. This is exactly the same yarn, and so this is all 100% virgin wool. And this is kind of telling. Corinna's yarn was the first hand-dyed yarn I ever bought at Bon Creative 2 years ago, and I fell in love with it right away. The colorway was amazing and the yarn was amazing. And I'm allergic to wool, to 100% wool. And because, I don't know, do you remember the Millet 2 from Lana Grossa at all? That was hip like 3-4 years ago. I have them under my bed. And I can't take them. I can't take them. They're awful. They're scratchy like hell. And this is obviously a superwash yarn, which is not good for the environment, hence my expression. But any kind of 100% merino superwash is amazingly soft and amazing and just not a problem for my skin at all. And it looks and feels and knits up much better than the 75% merino / 25% polyamide mixes lots of hand dyers actually have. That's kind of I think that this is that kind of mix too. Will you please tell me? No, you don't want to? No, seriously? There we go. Yeah, this is actually, but that's what's so weird. Corinna's yarn does not feel towel-like and does not look towel-like either. Unlike other hand dyers who have that same mixture. Well, just saying. Anyway, so again, first hand-dyed yarn I bought, I fell in love with, and look at that, it just keeps getting better. This is a love that will last for life. Seriously. I'm really sure about that. So this was, like I said, this was supposed to become a fade, a 3-color fade, self-designed sweater. But I know that I will have a lot left, and I don't know. I've been thinking about rather combining these two with each other. Oh, looking at that right now, I could make a really awesome Shervy sweater. Oh, that's not good. Oh man, I'm always looking for new yarns for a new Shervy sweater. Just FYI. Nah. If I had 2 of these, I would do it. I swear. But with 2 different colors, no, I don't want to do that. But I could combine these 2 for something else, and it's like this is 800 yards together. That might even be enough, because that's exactly what I use for the Shervy. For a crop, it's definitely enough. Because that would work too. But it's kind of strange because 2 fade, do any people do just 2 fade projects? And they're just all awesome. They're all amazing. They actually all 4 of them work together, even though this is like not a single color, but they still work together. You know, smart people who know about color combinations, their minds would probably explode now. Like, I know what you can do with it, and I'm like, I don't. Please tell me. Okay, so that was like the high note we can end on. I have one more box which I forgot to put out now. So I'm just gonna tell you when I fill this up again. There is one box right under my desk full with the yarn I really hate. And I don't like the word actually. I just use it to emphasize my point. I really don't like the yarn that's in there. It's everything. It's scratchy, terrible scratchy sock yarn, and it's awful cheap acrylic yarn and cotton yarn of any imaginable sort and color. And yeah, it's just yarn I can really live without. And that I'm like, I'm most likely never ever going to use this except for filling a cushion or an amigurumi. That's actually what I do. I've had yarns that were so icky and terrible that I've stuffed them inside amigurumis and pillows. If you really don't know what to do with a yarn and you know exactly you're never going to use it and you're never going to need it for anything, use it as stuffing. Honestly. It's cheaper and more available than that polyfill that you never have in the house when you really need it. And that works perfectly well. But my point, and I'm gonna like slide down here so you don't see my joggers. There I am again, and you saw nothing. I had an epiphany when I saw this because I found this. This is a fluffy yarn, in case you can't see. Fluffy fur, fake fur. This is the kind of fake fur that was happening when fur was not yet cool and knitting was not yet so advanced. No, this is what fur yarn looked like when I started knitting. And you might not be able to see, but it's super soft, but it's like, you will find it all over the house if you're in bad luck. And yeah, because of the color, it's kind of, it kind of draws every bit of dirt onto it. This is actually not white anymore. And I used it for the Christmas hat from Penny from The Big Bang Theory with the 2 tails. And it was perfectly fine for that. But I have quite a lot of left. I don't know why. And so it's like, what am I ever going to do with it? But then Dot Pebbles, aka Claire Garland, showed a sneak peek of an upcoming design because she's designed a new rabbit pattern. And it's like really cute. It's like a teeny tiny rabbit. And just a couple of days before, someone else, or she reposted a different rabbit knitted by someone else with a fur yarn too, with a fuzzy yarn in brown. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, I could knit that new pattern with this. Because I don't have brown fluffy yarn. That would obviously look nicer because, I don't know, white rabbit also always reminds me of like crazy magicians and red eyes remind me of Voldemort, and I don't actually like that. But it still could work, right? That could still work, and that could be really cute. That could be really cute and fun. So I actually found a purpose for this. And I think that's great. And I also think that's a great note on ending the video, especially because we're at 47 minutes yet again. But I can live with that. I don't have to do too much editing. And you're the ones who have to listen to it and sit through it, not me. I'm done now. Okay, I hope you had some fun. I hope you had some entertainment. And I will make these videos irregular. Everyone outside like, she will make these irregular? Aren't they already irregular? I'll try to make 2 a month, but I cannot really be bothered to be held accountable for that. Because as you can tell, usually something does not work. But what I did want to do also, just in case wasn't there something you've been meaning to do? Yes. I wanted to start this series, I'm Woman, Hear Me Rant, which would be excursions and not generally centered around knitting, but they would always, or most of the time, have a knitting component in it. And since it's May is Mental Health Awareness Month, I wanted to do a video on mental health, especially because I did one 2 years ago. And so I wanted to make like a recap or like a follow-up video, and also talk about knitting in terms of like helping with mental illness. The problem with that needs research, because I want to put out sensible content that can actually help people as well. And I've been meaning to get other voices from the knitting community who have also dealt or also are still dealing with mental illness. But that would mean I would have to get up to them and ask for permission. And which I don't mind, which is the right way to go, right thing to do. But I've been noticing that I cannot push myself, that I feel highly uncomfortable doing that. And so, yeah, maybe no. But I don't want to do it without it, because it seems like I would, because when I can at least link the people, I can give you resources of other people who have gone through the same thing. Because my experience might not be my experience will not be relatable to everyone. And so, and you know, May is almost over, so it's also like a little late to the party. It's just, I just couldn't get myself to do it. We shall see if that will happen. Maybe I'll put a different topic first, because I have other topics. There's lots of topics we can talk about. So I'll keep you posted on that. But for now, have a good week and a good weekend. Bye bye.